Welcome back to another episode of the Know Your Power podcast. I'm your host, Julia Renee.
And I'm Kendall Aaliyah.
And it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That was beautiful.
This is coming out on
This
Christmas.
is coming out
that
on
was
Christmas.
not beautiful,
It
you
was,
liar.
It was very on key. Mine would have been like, Merry Christmas. But yes, today's our Christmas episode.
I have a few things I need to tell
She
Julia.
has some
First off,
housekeeping.
I have a bone to pick because I edit the podcast, for those of you who don't know.
What did I do?
My hair last episode.
Oh, was I a bad friend?
It was just like, there was like a little like alfalfa moment.
There was?
The whole time.
Oh, no.
I even got up to check the camera. I don't know if you remember. It's been a week since we filmed.
Yeah.
But I got up to make sure we had enough room on the SD card. I sat down and did the same thing with my headphones.
What hairstyle did you have?
It was supposed to be a middle part, but it was kind of wonky, and one piece was just kind of like bent up over this. I was like, Julia usually clocks those things, and you were not paying attention. It's not your fault; it's my fault. But I'm still mad that you didn't.
I'm
tell
a bad
me.
friend. Yeah,
it's okay.
Good friends say, "Bro, you have something in your teeth. Your hair looks stupid. Your mascara is
maybe
smudgy."
nicer than that, but yeah.
Well, that's how I would say it.
Anyway, now you can go into today's episode.
Okay, yeah, we're doing a Christmas Q&A. So
Yay.
these are just some questions that you guys asked us. We know that this is coming out on Christmas, so we know people are going to listen to this eventually. I just don't know, like, how many people listen to podcasts like on Christmas Day
If you are, you're a real one.
Yeah, or watch YouTube videos and stuff. But I mean, I like watching YouTube videos and listening to podcasts like while I'm getting ready or driving, maybe not YouTube videos while I'm driving. So I don't know, people might.
Yeah.
But first we're going to start with opening our presents that we got each other.
I need to tell you, I had a dream last night that I gave you this present. We were on the podcast. We were in studio. The camera was rolling. Like, it felt so real.
That's very real.
And you opened the gift and you turned to me and go, "That's it?" And
oh my God.
And my heart broke. So please, even if you don't love it, for the sake of my heart today,
just lie.
I had a nightmare that you hated my gift. You didn't even hate it. You were just kind of like, okay.
Like, okay, whatever.
But Julia, you're so hard to shop for.
Really?
Impossible.
Why?
Because I feel like
I have everything?
yes. So like I called my mom, you can ask her this, at least 12 times at the multiple malls I have been to just to try to find you something. And I'll send her a picture of like a shirt. And she's like, I swear I've seen Julia in like 10 shirts that look like that. And I'm
because
like,
for
exactly,
me, like
she'll love it.
If I want something, I typically will get it. And
Yeah.
I'm not somebody that buys expensive things. Like
Yeah.
I shop at Amazon. Like I usually just buy it myself.
Yeah.
But
I know that about, so I didn't want to get you things you already have,
Yeah.
but also then it's like, but then I know she'd like it. So
Yeah.
I tried to get things you like or have, but like, hopefully you don't own, if that makes sense. You can go first because I'm anxious and I need to get this out of the way.
That means I get to go first.
I also got you like, yeah, you'll see.
And if you're on YouTube,
are we gonna like describe?
you'll actually get to see
Yeah,
what
go
it
over
is.
to YouTube if you want to like see. I also wrapped random things just to make it more fun to open.
Okay, let's open the card first.
Okay.
The card says,
Oh, read it.
the Quad Mommy. Do you want me to
the
read
Quad Mommy. Yeah,
what the
you
card
can.
says? I didn't get you a card. And
That's
I feel
okay.
bad.
You should.
I'm just going to rip things open because this is how I do it.
Ripping
Oh,
ASMR.
the card says hella cozy, and it has like ugly Christmas sweater on it. Oh, Kendall writes like a typewriter also.
I was actually really proud of my handwriting.
She
in
literally
this one.
writes like
Show the class. I
a
don't think they
typewriter.
could
You
see
probably
it from
can't
there.
see it from YouTube, but it says, "Thank you for being not only an amazing friend, comma, but for also continuously inspiring me, plus sign, making me a better version of myself. You deserve everything coming your way in 2024. So proud of you. Love, Kendall."
Aw.
That's nice. I'm going to put that on my new vision board. I
Cute.
love that. Okay, this is going to probably be really loud. She got me.
Can I show you a video?
Is this?
There's also something inside of it. But before you open that, I need to show you. I got this at Dick's. And it was the only one left on the mannequin up on a display. And I made them get a ladder.
You took a photo?
Yeah, I took a video. They ended up standing on it sideways.
Oh my God.
Because like it was too big of a ladder. But they're hauling this giant ladder through the whole store. And I'm like, I need it. Like, trust me, it's
And
going
that's
towards
very
a
hard
good
for
cause.
you to make somebody like go super out of their way to get
Yeah.
something. So if you guys were listening to our episode on like the best things to get your gym girly, it was like the Lululemon like wool fuzzy fanny pack, and I told her, I was like, I want it so bad, but I don't have it.
This is not Lululemon.
It doesn't have to be.
It's
it
still
literally,
a nice brand.
like, this is what I'm trying to say is, like, I wouldn't have spent the money on a Lululemon one. I would have got a dupe, and this is exactly what it is.
A good dupe.
I love it. I'm literally going to wear it today because it matches my outfit. Okay, and inside
is a tiny gift.
Is a tiny little mushroom sticker.
That too.
Okay, wait. I don't want to rip it.
Please do. Honestly, my wrapping also, I wrapped everything in this multiple times because I just hated how my wrap job was doing. So just like, don't mind it.
It's one of those gifts where you keep unwrapping it. Oh my God. And I like this store a lot.
Okay,
she
good.
got little gold hoop earrings because I'm super into hoop earrings right now. And they're from Altered State. They're so cute.
I was going to get you like basic
I love
hoops.
them.
Again, me talking to people to consult for you is hard for me. But the lady at like the desk, I was like, can you help me pick? Because I'm not a gold jewelry girl. I know she already has a lot of gold hoops. I don't know which ones to get. And she helped me pick
I don't
those.
have any like this. I just have, mine are all like plain.
That's what I was hoping.
Because I was like, I didn't know if I was going to be a gold hoop girl. Because before, like maybe 2 months ago, I only wore studs and I didn't like anything dangly. And then I tried gold hoops because like every gym girly was wearing them. And I was like, okay, I need to see what the fuss is about. And now I love them. Okay, I'm going to throw this on the floor.
That's fine.
Okay, first gift. Okay, there's so much in here. You're making my gift look bad.
No. See, that was my fear. So I was like, I just need to get her more things.
Oh, this is so cute.
That's also from Altered State.
Okay, finally. I feel like this might actually hold my hair.
I looked, by the way, for those listening, it's a hair clip.
A big hair clip.
I like found so many cute like butterfly ones and I was like, that'd be so cute. None of them were big enough. And I was like, Julia has so much hair. There's no way.
And I've literally told her on the podcast that I get like claw clips, but you have to use 2 of them.
Yeah.
And this one's super cute. It has like a little, it's like pink.
It's your colors.
I
I'm
love
trying to stick
pink.
to a theme.
There is a theme. Bro, these are my favorite. Okay, my favorite candy is the is it trolley or trolley?
I always say trolley,
I
but
say
I
trolley.
might be wrong.
The trolley gummy worms, but the very berry flavor because it's all the good flavors. And it has like the blue and the pink and the red and purple versus the regular ones that have like orange flavor, green. I never eat those. I leave them at the bottom of the
because
bag.
I like was gonna grab them and I was like, odds are she'll still like them. And I was like, no, I have to get the very berry
I still
ones.
would. I would just leave them and it would be like, I would waste it. Wait, I already opened that. Okay, the last
throwing
thing.
things.
Hopefully. Oh, I was about to fall.
Goodbye.
Okay, what's in this box?
This was the first thing I bought. Everything else I was like, I need to get more than just this.
Can you guys hear how satisfying the unwrapping of the present is?
There's a photo of it, but I'd rather you just open it.
I'm not going to look at the photo. Da-na. What is this?
It's a mushroom planter. So you put a plant in it.
It's so cute.
It just reminds me of your very like boho aesthetic. Kind of matches your like mat at your front door a little.
Oh my God, I love it so much. I can't wait to put a plant in it and put it in my little plant sanctuary. It's like a mushroom plant holder.
My mom was like, you need to like buy a plant that like fits and give it to her. I was like, I feel like plants are like personal to people. I'd rather you pick the plant, but it's just a cute little mushroom planter.
I love it. Oh my God, my mom and sister are going to be so jelly. Where did you get that? It's so cool. I feel like I know where you got it.
Paper Source.
I love that.
I think.
I like,
could be wrong.
That place
but I'm
is
pretty
like,
sure.
They have like the best like stationery and like cards and stuff.
I went in there.
But they have cute gifts too.
I was looking for like my sister-in-law 'cause she likes cute little like notepads and things like that. And yeah, they have like a whole wall of like scrapbooking things, I guess. But then yeah, there's a lot of like random gifts and things. And I saw that and it was the last one and it was like on display. And I was like, that just reminds me of Julia. So I bought that forever ago. And then yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I can't wait. I can't wait to use it.
I'm gonna open mine.
Thank you.
Now
It's
you're
such a good
welcome.
gift. Even like all the like, I can't wait to put it on and wear all this stuff like now.
This matches your outfit today.
It does.
Your gift bag.
My very neutral. I specifically ordered like neutral paper for Christmas and stuff to wrap people's presents in.
Do you prefer opening or watching other people open your gifts? Because I
Both.
feel almost more nervous opening a gift versus like watching someone
Really?
else open.
I like both. Of course, I like opening like slightly
I
more
see
because
one
I just
thing.
love presents.
I'm not going to look like inside yet, but we're starting
with self-care.
How do you say that?
Sick-a-pair. So
Sick-a-pair.
this brand is like
I've heard of it.
It's like one of the
Dr.
most
Jart.
Yes,
Okay,
Dr.
yeah.
Jart. It's like one of the best brands that
so
you can
wet.
get for like skincare stuff.
No, this is perfect. I was literally just telling you how dry and breaking out my skin is right now. So very necessary. Thank you.
This is basically Kendall's bag of self-care that she needs to
socks. The way I actually ordered socks yesterday.
Yes.
But that's perfect. Is this a specific brand?
Sick Fit.
Sick Fit.
They have
I haven't heard of them.
amazing
really thick.
socks. Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
really good quality, and I love them for gym, like to go with gym shoes or just a neutral fit.
Are you this way where you have like something that steals and or eats your socks?
Like a dog?
Well, no, like all my socks are just gone. Like I'll buy a pack of 20, they're gone within like 2 weeks.
I have yes, yeah. That typically happens.
And I'm like, where are they vanishing?
Where have they gone?
No, it's awful.
Most of mine are like behind my washer and dryer.
The next thing I'm obsessed with, it's little cactus pens.
They're
Are these
so
pens?
cute.
Yes.
They're the best, most satisfying pens
so
to use
cute.
ever.
Oh, that's a nice pen.
That's a satisfying pen.
I like that. We're both
can-
like, I don't know, like this excites me more than anything
I
else.
know.
I'm like a pen.
I know. I got some from like a friend, and I was like, I need to order these
so
because
cute.
they're so amazing.
For those who aren't watching, they're like these little cactuses, and one has a little pink flower, and one has a little
It's a
orange
pen
flower.
that looks like a cactus.
It's so
and it has
cute.
one arm.
This is adorable so far. Okay, next. Oh, is this to our favorite store?
It's to our favorite
So this
store.
is where I found a few shirts for you.
Yes, I
and
figured
my mom was
so.
like, she has those.
Kendall
I'm
and
like,
I's
"You're
favorite
right."
store is
Oh my
Offline.
God, thank you.
by
It's a
Aerie.
gift card to Offline. Yeah, for those of you, I would say it's like more affordable also compared to like a
think so, too.
Lululemon, but like the quality is
still
on
there.
par. Yeah. No, Aerie Offline's amazing. Why am I so nervous?
I don't know.
So last year Julia hosted like a friend's
Oh yeah,
Christmas.
but everyone stared. That was a lot of people staring at one person while they opened together.
No, but do you remember what I had to open?
You were the person that got the present that
One
you
of
had to
those-
keep
yeah.
opening and opening again.
One
right?
of the people for like White Elephant brought one of those gifts where it's like a box within a box within a box within a box. And I already have some social anxiety, especially around people I'm not close with. And like
Yep.
I'm close with, I would say like half your friends, but a few people there I like have never met or
Yeah.
anything like that. And the way I was just like red and like
She was
embarrassed
opening
these gifts. I feel like that like honestly triggered me. Is this the, okay,
Yes.
if you asked like, what do you think I got you? I thought this.
Really?
Because I know how much you love them. Also, they're so soft.
I know.
Oh my
Those
gosh.
are my
Okay,
favorite. I
she
had to
got
get
me-
I had to get it in black.
I feel like I'm bad at explaining. I'm sorry. She got me like the little wrist. What do
Yes.
you call them? Guards?
Wrist-
Protectors?
Wrist guards, wristbands,
And like a
headband.
headband that when you wash your face, it doesn't like run down your arms. And it's so funny because I am vlogging today. And usually I honestly, call me gross, don't wash my face in the morning. I do most of my
I
skincare
used to
at
never
night.
either.
Yeah.
Until recently.
And like me being the fake content creator I am was like, I should wash my face for the video. And I wash it and I'm wearing this and my pants just get covered in water, my arms covered in water. And I was like, you know what?
It's a simple pleasure.
Yeah, like these could be useful. I get the hype now. We have
And
two
then more.
more. Are these face masks or eye?
Those
eye
are just for
masks?
under your eyes.
Which I have never
For-
used these.
I love them because then
know.
you can like pop them under your eyes while you do stuff around the house in the morning instead of
Yeah.
have like, you know, when you have the whole face when you're like, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I can't
and it's
see.
just like leaking.
Yes.
So these are both, sorry, I'm like, can't talk into the mic right now. Sephora brand, which
Yes.
is sick.
They
I've
also
never
make a
used those.
caffeine one and it smells like coffee and I love it so much.
Lastly, we have more socks.
And then you get Christmas.
These
Christmas
are cute.
socks.
It's funny. I was going to get you like fuzzy Christmas socks, but I was like, Julia, see, that's one of those things. I'm like, she has socks. Unlike me, who I am like on the floor of my laundry room every day trying to find socks. So
From behind your washer or dryer.
Honestly,
I
they
looked behind my
disappear.
washer and dryer the other day and I was like, oh crap. There's
Thank
a
you
lot of stuff back there.
so much. These are all so cute.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Can I give you a hug?
Is our hair
Love
still
you.
good? That was
Yours is mine.
yes.
Don't lie to me.
This time I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks.
Okay, well now we can actually get to y'all's questions. So question number 1 is how to not get emotional over rough gym days. I struggle with this constantly. That's a good question. What I'm assuming she's talking about is like days where you go to the gym and you're just like not feeling it.
I had this like 2 days ago. So
I have this like every other day lately.
it does happen like more often than not. I feel like especially through like the holiday season, we talk about like multiple times already how hard it can be to stay consistent. I went to the gym mostly because my boyfriend wanted to go. So like red flag number one, I knew like I wasn't like self-motivated to be there. And then I got there and I started stretching and my body just hurt. And I was like, my plan going in was like, oh, I'm just going to hit some glutes, right? Like I was already trying to be nice to myself and be like, I'm not going to kill it. I'm just going to like touch on some glutes, call it a day. I start stretching. My body hurts really bad. And I was like, then I started beating myself up over like, well, now I don't want to train glutes. Like now my hips hurt and blah, blah, blah,
I don't even want to be here.
Exactly. Like it was just one of those days where I was like, I don't feel strong. I don't feel good about myself. Like the outfit I'm wearing is bothering me. My hair is bothering, like everything just felt wrong. Yeah. And I ended up like going into their little yoga room. It was completely empty and throwing on like a 10-minute guided yoga session on my phone. That's all I did. Walked on the treadmill for 5 minutes and then left. And it was really, I had to like actively remind myself, like you still showed up.
Yes.
Like you still came to the gym. That's still more than you would have done if you were at home and laying on the couch. So you need to be proud of yourself for like the little wins. I know it's really easy to be like, I didn't do enough. That wasn't progressing me. That wasn't X, Y, and Z. But like just focus on the fact that like you still tried today. You know, it might be a rough day. You might have external factors affecting you, but like you're still trying. Yeah. I feel like that is what you need to focus on those rough days.
And you still went for sure. And you have to think about too, like there's a huge population that doesn't even go like whatsoever.
Exactly.
So that thought, and that's just like the competitive side of me where I'm like, I went and there's some people, you know, there's people that didn't go, but that's just competitive wise. But I think the best thing that I got from what you said, which I do too, is before I even go, and I know that I'm having like a rough day and it's going to be one of those days where I'm just like showing up, you know, and I'm just like checking it off of my list. I lower my expectations for how I'm going to show up and how strong I'm going to be and how motivated. And it helps me instead of going in there and expecting me to still be like killing it.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have the physical energy or motivation to do it.
Yeah.
So
I feel like just like being realistic with yourself and nice to yourself. And like sometimes it is just like a rough day. Maybe you're on your period. Like you got to write it off to something sometimes. Like the other day also, like the day after that, I still wasn't feeling that motivation. I was still mildly beating myself up for the day before. Like it's inevitable. It happens. And I was like, okay, but I'm going to train glutes and I'm going to keep it simple. So sometimes just keeping it to like, I'm going to do 3 exercises and give those 3 my all.
I did that the other day too.
Exactly. Instead of being like, oh, I'm going to be there for an hour and a half and like go ham on every exercise. It's like, okay, let's limit the exercises, but still try to give those 100%.
Exactly. And those are the days where I'll go in and I'm like, I know I'm feeling like crap. I'm just going to do these 3 or 4 movements and then I'm fine. And if I have to lower the weight and I do more time under tension, then we're good. So I lower my expectations before even getting there because then I don't want to be like disappointed when I don't have the strength because it's just not there. Yeah. And that's fine.
Be nice to yourself.
Be nice to yourself.
Question number 2.
Do it.
Can stopping birth control really make a difference in those gains? We're not doctors.
We're not doctors. We're not going to be telling anybody to get on or off birth control whatsoever.
I've noticed not necessarily gains per se, but in a cutting phase, the times I have done preps or cuts while off of birth control, I do tend to lose my body fat much easier and much quicker. So I do feel like it depends on you, depends on what type of birth control you're on, if the hormones are aligned with your personal hormones or not. Like sometimes if you take too much estrogen on top of already being like someone with high estrogen, that can make you hold body fat, etc. So it's very dependent on the situation. I've never seen a difference in muscle gain, and I'm assuming that's what they're asking.
Yeah. I see it more in like how fast or how slow you lose weight or body fat or get shredded or whatever you mean. But that's the reason that I got off of bodybuilding. Birth control was for bodybuilding. Yeah. And if you guys watch my YouTube channel, I did that at the beginning of this year. I was on the pill for years and then switched to the copper IUD, which is non-hormonal. Yeah. And it took my body a while to get used to it. It's usually like 4 to 6 months. And for me, after that 4 to 6 months, that's when my body started responding. So that was one of the reasons why this prep was so difficult too, because I had put my body through a lot hormonally, and then immediately got into prep and was like expecting everything to go to normal after being on hormonal birth control for years. And I was mistaken. So I'm excited about this next year where I've had a full year.
Now it's like out of your system.
Out of my system. Yeah. And now I'm on non-hormonal. I can get my hormones back to baseline and then start cutting from there. But you hear a lot of bodybuilders, especially women, who get off of it or go to non-hormonal because of the whole shredding thing. Yeah. So it's definitely something that's like in the industry.
As hard as being on birth control affects your results, also switching birth control affects even more. I remember when I was first getting into bodybuilding, similar to you, I was on birth control. First off, I was put on it when I was 12 years old, which is crazy, but I had ovarian cysts, and that's like an easy way to like regulate those, I guess, is what I was told. So I was probably like 16, 17, like doing a really hard cut for the first time, and my doctor switched my birth control like during my prep. And the way it just like ruined everything. And like, I understand you can still play a huge role in how you let it affect you, but like for real, like that switch and that adjustment, like my body ballooned up and I was like, oh my gosh, like everything I've been working towards is gone, which isn't true. But I did definitely gain like a lot of water weight, a little bit of body fat while trying to be in a deficit. So just be mindful about like where you are in your birth control journey. If you do plan on coming off, like Julia said, give yourself time. I think I was off for a full year before doing like the prep after coming off.
And that's what I wish I would have done, because I didn't realize, like, I was thinking like, oh, I'm going from a hormonal to a non-hormonal. That's a good thing, right? You know, instead of the other way around. I was like, it'll be fine. And, you know, my body still needed time because it had been on it for years. So just like timing wise, like if you're someone who is considering going to like a non-hormonal, give yourself grace and your body time to adjust. And plan it like accordingly. Again, we're not doctors and we're not telling you what to do whatsoever.
Listen to your doctors.
This is just our experience. And I know a lot of women that struggle a lot with birth control, like finding the right one, and like acne, gaining weight, water weight. Like my little sister even had struggles with it too, where like she was just like crazy angry.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I had anger issues. Yeah, let me tell you.
It's just like, why do we have to go through this? It's so stupid.
And it's so weird because
male birth control.
Honestly,
we need male birth control.
It's a thing now.
Yeah.
I know. Get on it.
Why do we got to do it? Oh.
I was someone who always, so you had an easy time on birth control. Yeah. You never really felt much of like turbulence, but coming off, it's been like an adjustment for your body. I was constantly weight fluctuating and acne fluctuating, anger fluctuating on birth control. When I came off, like everything cleared up for me.
Crazy.
And now I'm on again and I regret it, and I will be coming off in a year or two, just not yet.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Kendall's scared to get the copper IUD because of what you have to do to put it in.
Not even that. I think just like the act of like knowing something's in me. I'm even someone that like
sometimes I'm just driving and I'm like, yeah, there's something inside me.
Yeah, like even, I know it's mostly girlies listening, so I guess it's not TMI, but like even when I'm on my period, I only ever use tampons. But like if I think about it, I get disgusted. Like I start to cringe at I'm like, something's sitting there.
Just sitting there.
I hate it.
Marinating.
Not marinating. Ew.
Okay, moving on. Question number 3. Advice on work/gym balance. I feel like I spend a lot of time sitting. Yeah.
Wait, like sitting
I'm guessing
in general,
like,
or like as a...
I'm guessing this person has like a desk job.
Okay.
To where like they go to the gym, but like the majority of the day they're just sitting.
I thought this was like metaphorically sitting like in like in one. Okay.
Not at all.
My brain's not working today. I always recommend to my clients who sit at a desk for most of the day, first off, stretch, move your body. I feel like the biggest thing I see is postural issues or hip issues or things like that. If you literally just Google like stretches to do at your desk, just make sure you're moving in any capacity, because I feel like the worst thing you can do is like be hunched over in front of like your keyboard all day,
especially for like hours on end without even getting up or moving around. Like I of course, like I work from home, but the majority of the day, like I am sitting at a desk unless I go to the gym. So like this is kind of me, and I know there's a lot of people that work from home now, but also like at work still like a 9 to 5 and go to like a office or something, and you can just be sitting there for a long time.
If there's any way you can get up, even if you work at home, keep your water maybe not directly at your desk, so you're forced to walk, like even if it's a few steps to grab it every like couple of minutes or like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But even if you work at an office setting, like I've worked in offices before, and like my office was kind of like away from everyone else. And instead of like shooting an email, I would sometimes like make it a point to like walk over to their desk to ask them a question, just because like that gets you up and moving, just like anything you can do. And then as far as balance, I think it's about like finding your routine. I'm one to like switch up what I do. Sometimes I like working out before I have to work. Sometimes I like working out at the end of the day. Sometimes I like going at like almost 10 p.m., which I know might sound absurd. So just find what you actually enjoy and what fits your schedule the best. That creates like the most like, I guess, like synergy in your actual daily life.
Like you have some sort of routine.
Yeah, you're not just sitting at your desk all day.
I never worked like a desk job, like a 9 to 5 where I was like sitting, because I was a hairstylist, so I was on my feet all day.
Yeah.
So getting my steps in or anything like that wasn't a problem. But for me, it was more so like figuring out when I'm going to get my meals, because we didn't have like an actual break.
Yeah.
Because we got paid throughout like the day. And then for me, it was like going to the back and like trying to find time to eat. And that just came down to really like literally packing all my meals and bringing them with me throughout the day. And some people just aren't doing that.
Yeah.
And if you want to get in like your calories and you want to get in the adequate amount of protein, like you have to start bringing this stuff with you. Or like for some of my clients, we have some girls that are, you know, sitting at a desk, and sometimes they feel like they can't get up. So we have them bring foods that they don't have to like keep in a fridge. So like apples, bananas,
like
protein
easy
shake,
fast
like
food.
easy fast foods that they can have like while they're at their desk.
Yeah.
And we'll also have them set like reminders for them to stand up and get up and like take a lap, like go and do something, so that they're not just like sitting there. Also, make sure you have something for your low back to support it.
Yes, exactly. I feel like the worst thing that happens is like muscle stiffness over anything. Moving on.
Moving on.
I'm going to say that in between every question. Could you talk about this one's for you. Could you talk about getting extensions for the first time and hair care for it?
I love it.
I feel like
much.
I wouldn't love it.
You probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty low.
My hair is pretty low maintenance. I barely brush
it.
Yes,
I'm high maintenance, so I already expect like that I'm gonna have to do a certain amount to keep up. You know, this
it looks beautiful.
look.
I feel like it's worth it, whatever you're doing.
So the first extensions that I got were tape-ins, and I hated those because since I did work at a salon and I was what's it called, certified in doing extensions. Yeah. I know how much hair you lose when you do tape-ins.
Really?
You lose a lot of hair. So what happens with extensions is that every single day you lose a ton of hair. Like it's very normal to lose hair, like a certain amount. But when you have tape-ins, when you're trying to take them out and you're trying to put new ones back in, the tape gets stuck to hair that is supposed to fall out already. So when you're combing out the glue from the tape-ins, the hair that was already supposed to fall out is coming out with it. But also, since it's so difficult to get the glue out, you're also pulling your natural hair that wasn't supposed to come out. I know that because I've done it.
That would not be good for me as someone that loses a lot of hair every day.
And that's the thing. It's like there's a normal fallout that happens with your hair on the daily basis, but when you have glue to your hair, it's inevitable that you're going to pull out some hair that wasn't supposed to fall out.
Makes sense.
So I have sew-ins, and they do not do that. Of course, when I get my sew-ins bumped up, when she takes them out, there's the hair because it gets stuck. Like, imagine your hair falling out like normal, but instead it's sewed into your head. It's not going to come out because it's sewed in.
Yeah.
So whenever you take it out, the natural hair that was falling out is going to come out then. So it makes it seem like, oh my God, there's so much more hair that's falling out. It's just because it didn't fall out then because it's sewn in.
What's the difference, just as someone who's never gotten them, like this person, between like the sew-ins and those like bond ones? The keratin bonds?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
The bonded ones is like they're individual hair strands. So they're really teeny tiny and thin. Mm-hmm. But at the top of it, there's like a glue bead, and you burn it into your hair, basically.
Okay.
So you
Is
grab
that good or bad?
it. I don't know. It's better. It's potentially better than tape-ins. I did
But
tape-ins
not
and I
as
did
good
bonded.
as sew-ins.
I think sew-ins are the best as for protecting your hair and having your hair grow while you have them in, because people get extensions because they want longer hair or thicker hair. But it's literally like with the bonded ones, you pick up a tiny piece of hair, you put that little glue bead on top of that hair, and you get a hot tool and you burn it to your natural hair.
Neither of those sound very good.
I know,
for your
and then
scalp.
the other one is like a really sticky tape that you tape. But to get them out with the tape, you have to use like an alcohol spray, and then to get the beaded ones out, you have to also use like a specific oil or a spray. So it's just like getting that glue out of your hair. It's so hard to do. It takes forever, and you're going to pull out some of your natural hair that's not supposed to fall out.
Yeah.
Versus the sew-ins, you're literally like sewing it into your natural hair, and there's like when you take them out, all you have to do to take out sew-ins and bump them up higher, because they grow with your hair. All you have to do is cut the sew-in strands. You don't have to rub any glue out. You don't have to like anything. Pull any like glue or those little bondy things. But like my hair care that I do with it, it's you can go every 8 to 10 weeks. 8 is like extra. I've been pushing mine to 10 weeks just because every 8 weeks it's a lot. And all she does is she cuts the little strings that she sewed.
How long does it take?
It takes a little bit because I do a lot of hair. Yeah. A lot of hair is in my head. But like I wash my hair once a week. I make sure I section it and really shampoo in between the wefts. And then I get my hair bumped up higher because it grows out, of course, every 8 to 10 weeks.
Nice.
That's all I really do to my hair.
I do nothing.
Yeah. That's about it.
That's why your hair looks that beautiful. Yeah. So I get it. I feel like it's worth it. The next question is, what's the longest you've gone without working out, and did you lose muscle?
Ooh.
I skipped a question, but that's okay. We'll go back.
Okay. Let's see. So oh man. Was it last Christmas? I don't know. One time I took a whole month off.
That was like around winter last year.
Yeah, I took a whole month off, and I don't know if I lost muscle. It might have been strength. So there's a difference between losing actual muscle mass, like in a DEXA scan, and you actually see the numbers going down, versus losing strength. So if you don't do a certain thing that you're used to doing, like training for an entire month, and then you get back to it, do you really think you're going to be at the same strength level as you were before? Yeah. No. And that's completely normal. Like when I took that month off of working out, I might have lost like a tiny bit of muscle, but I lost strength. And of course, because I had been lifting a certain way for a very long time, and an entire month, I completely stopped doing that. So when I got back, of course, it took a little bit, but our muscles have muscle memory, and eventually I got back to where I was.
Yeah. I think the longest I've taken off was weirdly when we went to Costa Rica. That was like a week, and I think I took like the day before and after off, so probably like 7-8 days. Yeah. And honestly, I think I talked about this like in the podcast when we returned. If anything, I felt great. Yeah. I felt way better after taking a week off. I saw no visible change. I felt if anything, I felt stronger taking that amount of time off. So I do think there's a sweet spot of like 1 to 2 week break versus like a multiple month break. It's definitely harder to get your strength back.
It was definitely hard for me during that time. I took a month off social media. I went and did like a trip with Zach, and then I didn't train for a month. I think a month off of training was a little bit too long for me, but mentally I have been training this way since I was 15. And I was like, okay, I think a month is fine. You know what I mean? It's like, it was necessary. I can't change it, but I think overall it's more so strength and the muscle memory that kind of your body forgets about versus like actual losing muscle mass. I feel like the longer than like a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe then you'll actually start to lose muscle mass. Yeah. But it's more so
I feel like it also depends on like your diet during that time. True. Is it a planned break? Is it a forced break? Do you have an injury? Yeah. Those can all play a role. That is true. I think I took a few weeks off. This was like beginning of my fitness journey. it's hard because I was an athlete. So like not really beginning of my fitness journey, but beginning of like my bodybuilding, weight training, going to the gym on my own journey, I had gotten ankle surgery and I was supposed to take several months off. But I think I took like 3 weeks and then with my boot on started doing like bike, like the stationary bike. So I think as long as you're still like showing up in other ways or like still caring about your diet, like you're really not going to see a huge difference.
Yeah. If you just like forget about everything, of course, like your physique is going to change.
Yeah.
But if you can still worry about your diet, like at the end all be all, like if you can't do any training, diet needs to be on point. Like plain and simple.
Go back to number 5 because that's the one I skipped.
Okay, next question is, how do you deal with weight gain in the off season? I don't think I look like I even gym.
I get this.
I feel this. I feel this.
My body composition changes like every off season, I swear. Like I'll hold fat in new areas.
I'm holding it this year in my butt.
Oh, I
finally,
love that for you.
Bro.
Round of applause
I've
for
been
that
waiting.
one.
I mean, once I start cutting down, it's going to be sucky because of course, like where you hold it the most is where the last place for it to go.
Yeah.
But I'm holding pretty tight in my stomach this time around, which is never.
That. Your abs look great.
Thanks. But it's never the case for me.
Yeah.
But now I'm holding it in my butt.
Isn't it weird how it like changes?
It's so weird.
But so for me recently, it's been like more so my arms, right? So I've been like a little more self-conscious in my arms and I feel this where the fact that like when I'm training, I feel jacked. When I'm not training, I either feel like I have like noodle arms or just like have like more body fat than I do muscle, which isn't true, but that's how I feel.
Because if you think like it's there's truth to what you're saying. It's not like all in your mind, because if you are activating your muscles, you're going to just look more jacked than if you weren't. Like if I just stopped, when I stopped training for that month, I looked flat. Let's call it quote unquote flat, where your muscles don't have that like bubbly look that they do because you're not activating them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, when people get like a boot on one leg and then that leg becomes super skinny and versus the other one because you can't activate the muscle. There's very much truth to that. Like it's almost like your pump. You just have a pump that carries forever versus like you going like deflating.
I feel
there's truth to it.
I feel very deflated when I'm not actively training arms. And a way, not saying it's like, I feel like this is like not touchy, but hard to talk on because everyone's different. And first off, you should not beat yourself up. Like weight gain in an off season is necessary to make those improvements. It's an improvement season over anything else. Like that's when you're gaining muscle. That's when you're changing your body composition. Like that's when things matter the most, in my opinion.
And you're getting your hormones back to baseline.
Exactly.
Which is number one.
Yeah. But if you are someone and you're in your off season and you're cool with it, but you're like, oh, I feel like I wish I didn't carry body fat there. I'm more about focused on where you still feel your best. So like I don't hold a lot, luckily, in my abdomen or in my legs right now. It's really mostly in my arms. So I might wear a long sleeve.
Yes.
I might wear a hoodie, but shorts, right? So like still focusing on the things where when I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, these are positives I can focus on. And you almost kind of like blur out the part that I'm a little more self-conscious about.
I'll do that because usually I carry it more in my stomach. And if I eat like off plan, the first place it shows is my stomach. Like it's very like watery and bloated. So I'll do the same thing. Like I'll just wear like one of my onesies instead.
Yeah.
So it covers my
your
stomach.
You still feel
and I
good.
feel very confident with how my arms look. I feel confident how my legs. I just covered the middle part and I still feel really good.
Yeah.
And that sounds kind of like silly, but I am all for that. Like dress whatever makes you feel confident in the off season. And that's totally fine. And I agree with you with what you're saying. You're supposed to be putting on body fat. Like just remember, being that lean for show day, not healthy. Not sustainable, and should not be maintained, and it's not healthy. It's also not healthy to be completely way above your weight class or your goal weight for stage. There's a happy medium that you need to find, and it takes a little bit to get there because of how much we swing so far to one side to the other. So just give yourself grace and know that like this is a part of the process. And whenever, you know, you maybe get a little too high in body fat, just remember that you're going to have to cut this down eventually.
Yeah.
So finding a healthy weight to maintain at where you're not starving yourself and you're not overeating is always a sweet spot.
Yes. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable in your skin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've definitely gotten to that point after multiple of my preps. Yeah. So if you get to that point, don't think you're like too far gone. Just like tail it back in, get back to where you are comfortable.
You can always get back on track.
Yes.
I'm skipping a couple of them because I have way too many.
We literally have like 20 written down, I
feel like this one's a really good one. What's your biggest advice for first-time wellness competitors?
We did a whole series on this.
We did. I mean,
So if you want to go watch those in depth, let's each give like one piece of advice. You first, though, because I need to think for a sec.
Wellness specifically. You need to love training lower body.
That's a good one.
And you need to start being friends with being in pain in your lower body.
Your legs will never not be sore again.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. So just you gotta love it because it's gonna become like your life.
Yes. I was gonna say kind of along those lines, I would say before getting into competing in wellness, take the time you need to grow your lower body.
Yes.
Because I feel like I've seen a lot of people do it, and I even think in the shows I've done in wellness, I could have been bigger. And I still, even then, I took a good year and a half off just training lower body 3 times a week, like fully honing in on that. But truly at the professional level, wellness legs are so large and developed that you need to take the time, however long that is for you and your personal physique, to actually grow into that category instead of just being like, oh, I'll wing it.
Yes.
Like whether you're figure or bikini and moving into wellness, you need to take the time to like shape your body for that division.
Exactly. Like no matter what division, like all 3 of those have different muscularity. What's the word? Looks that they want, and taking the time to build into each one, whichever one you choose. Of course, bikini, you don't have to take as much time. Wellness, you have to take a little bit more. Figure, you have to take even more.
Yeah.
So just take that into consideration too when you're competing. It's like, it's okay to take an off season because those are the most important. Like that's where you build. That's where your on season starts to make sense. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I'm going to answer this one because they said, thoughts on your bangs. So far, your girl is feeling panic, and I like I need to change them. So the reason I got mine was the same reason that she's talking about,
Panic.
which is just like impulse.
I need change.
Basically, I was actually at the gym one day and I was having a really crappy gym workout session. And in the middle of my workout, I just went, I need to get curtain bangs in the middle of my workout.
They look good on you.
So I do love them because they can add so much to my face. But yeah, I was there definitely an impulse. I was like, I need to change something. I literally call my hairstylist. She's she literally owns the salon. So she's always busy. So I was like, there's no way that she's going to get me in today. It was so impulsive. I wanted it to be that day. Like it had to be that day.
See, here's where we're different. I would have just done it myself.
Oh yeah. I thought about it. I was like, if she doesn't do it, I was like, I could either call my mom because my mom's a hairstylist, or I could do it myself because I was a hairstylist. And I was like, no, I can't. No. She was able to get me in at 6 p.m. that day, got them done. Absolutely love them. Don't regret it whatsoever. Definitely didn't realize how much I was going to have to style them. But of course I should have because I was a hairstylist.
You've also
I
had
know
them
this
before, right?
I haven't had them this short.
Yeah, that's true.
I've gotten them she made them kind of short, and this time I was like, I want them short. Like I wanted them like the tiny piece in the middle to be like really short. I showed her a picture of like Kim K when she had them really short.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was like, this is kind of how I want them, but maybe like a little bit longer.
See, for me, I always get that way where I constantly want something like changed, and it's been over a year that I've had my little blonde baby. And honestly, this is all I need. Like, I've thought about so many times of like, do I go back to full brown? And I'm like, I know myself. I'm going to want to dye something. I'm going to want to cut something. Like, I'm just going to keep her, like I can do hairstyles where you don't see the blonde at all, but I'm like, it keeps me entertained enough that I'm not bored looking at my hair.
Yeah. You can always just
keeping
like,
me sane.
you could color it a different color
I
if
think
you
I-
wanted to
I-
because
oh.
it's blonde, but
For Halloween, I got like that spray and it was pink for a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, how fun.
yeah. I mean, honestly, like sometimes we girls just like get that way. We're like, we need to do it. We need to do something now.
My tip for you who asked this question, are you on your period? Because that's
Yes.
what
I wasn't on my period.
My
I
mom
don't
has
know what
taught
was
me
going
this.
on.
Every time I want to change something, she goes, are you on your period? And I go, yes. And she goes, okay, how about you wait until you're off? And by the time I'm off, I'm like, I didn't need
You're
bangs.
like, oh shit. I didn't need like the straight across really short bangs, you know?
Yeah, I have bad impulse control, but
Yeah,
for sure.
I
I love them. I love
Yeah.
how curtain bangs look on every woman I've ever seen them on.
Yes,
So.
and if you want, you can also get them longer than I did, like way longer, so that they'll grow out in like 2 weeks. Like
Yeah.
honestly, they'll grow out, and then you'll be like, oh, I kind of miss them how
Yeah,
they were.
agreed.
Because curtain bays are safe; they're not like actual bang bangs.
The next one's about me. I see my name.
Where?
It says 11. My question is, what does the tattoo going down Kendall's back say? Also explaining reasons behind getting or the significance of any of your other tattoos that either of you have.
Ooh, that was a mouthful, bro.
I can very quickly go through mine. The one down my back says, seek what sets your soul on fire. I've always loved that saying. It's just kind of like, go towards what excites you, or like go towards where you're drawn or where you're happy or
Like super
whatever.
passionate
Yeah, just like
and excited to
yeah,
do.
like seek more things that bring you excitement, I think is like the meaning. And I always loved like spine tattoos, but I wanted something thin enough that like if I compete
Didn't you
again,
do it yourself?
my tattoo.
No, meaning like, isn't it your
Oh, no,
handwriting?
that's this one.
Okay, that's right.
The one on my back, I wish, because I feel like it came out beautifully. He was so nice. I specifically asked for it to not cover any muscle. Again, in case I compete again, in case I want to show my back.
see my muscles?
No, yeah. I was like, can it be like directly on my spine? And he repositioned it like 4 different times,
Oh,
which
that's
like
cool.
was so sweet of him. So yeah, that's what that one says. The only meaning is that I really like that saying. And
Yeah.
I feel like all the ones I have right now are just little words. So the one on my wrist, this is the one I wrote. So this is in my handwriting for those who have seen it. It says manifest your reality. And then right by it, it's 0120 because January 2020 is when I started my business.
Oh,
so
cool.
it's just like, I don't know, they kind of tie together of like, that was something I was manifesting for myself, like all through like childhood, high
Yeah.
school, like all these things. And finally, like that was the day I was like, I'm doing it. I'm just going all in. I like quit my job, started my website, started getting clients and went for it. And then do I only have one more? I need more tattoos. I've been getting the itch again. I have a very non-meaningful one, and it's just the name of an anime character because I watched that anime on like a Thursday night, right? And I cried at it because a part was just really motivational. The character is like, I'm going to say it backwards, one for all. So like he stands for protecting everybody. He doesn't fight for himself, and his like, I guess like enemy is all for one, who's like super selfish. So it's like, I'm not going to over explain, but basically there's just like a big fight scene and he's like fighting for the entire town or whatever. And it made me tear up. The next day I'm in Dallas with a group of my girlfriends and they're all like, let's get tattoos. And that was the only thing my brain could think of. So that's what I got. It's just like his name, like on my ankle.
That's cute.
That's it.
Cute.
What do you got?
Oh, I just have some flowers on the right side of my.
Any meaningfulness?
What is this? Nope.
Nope.
And the sun.
Just
My
'cause they
sister
look
has
cool.
the moon.
Yeah, I feel like that's meaningful. It's
Yeah.
with your family.
Yeah, that's all I have.
And doesn't that tie into your zodiac, or am I wrong?
The sun.
I'm just
Does
asking.
it?
I don't know
think it
anything about
does.
zodiacs. I just know you always love suns. I was like, maybe
I
it
don't
has
know.
to do with
I
your
just
zodiac.
have.
Okay.
It's so I don't know why. I just always have.
Maybe it
And
subconsciously
Zach
does.
is the moon also, so it's
Oh,
like
that's cool.
yeah. My sister's the moon because we're literally polar opposites,
Mm-hmm.
and Zach. We both identify, even when we made our Know Your Power journal, on the front of it, there's a sun, and then the other half is the moon, and that's Zach.
Yeah.
So
Aw.
it goes with
Cute.
Zach too, and it goes with my sister too. But that's all.
That's all on
I
that.
just got two.
I have some like fast ones we could answer. Favorite
Yeah.
Christmas/holiday dish or dessert? I said it was going to be fast, but now I can't think of anything.
My mom, every year, my mom makes the best Christmas cookies, and she'll make the traditional like Christmas cookies that me and my sister decorate. Last year we made, instead of doing the gingerbread, we decorate it with icing and make it look like a gingerbread. We turned it into a dead man.
Oh God.
We cut off one of his legs.
Oh Lord.
And we made them red, and we put like dead faces on. It was so
That's
funny.
kind of funny.
She makes those, and she makes like these homemade like Reese's cup ones that are Zach's favorite.
That sounds good.
These ones called snowballs. She also makes wedding cookies. So my favorite part of like the Christmas is like making the Christmas cookies with my mom and sister, and then also eating them.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, my mom makes really good snickerdoodles, and I don't like snickerdoodles. I only like hers, and specifically, I'll put them in the freezer. And when they're just like a little thawed out, they're like perfect. I don't know what it is about those, but I'm obsessed.
I'm a mushy and warm kind of gal.
Those do have gluten, so I'm going to have to try to find a gluten-free recipe this year.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway.
Okay, let's pick 2 more.
Okay.
I want to do...
I have another easy one.
Okay, what?
One beauty tip you learned this year that you now can't live without. I kind of have 2. One, I know I'm 30 years late to this party, but putting eyeliner in my waterline. Oh my God. I preached to this on the video I did about like my makeup routine on YouTube, but like there's just something about, I always saw girls with my colored eyes that like their eyes would just pop. And I was like, why don't mine do that? And I finally started watching tutorials, and all of them will do like waterline, and then they'll put like brown or black smoked out on their like under eye area, I guess.
This doesn't work for brown-eyed girls.
But for my colored girls, colored eye girls out there, I swear it like transformed how my eyes look with my makeup on. I always felt, because I don't look good with eyeshadow on. Like I've just noticed that about me, heavy eyeshadow, because I have like hooded eyes. It just looked weird. Yeah. And I feel like that is my one thing now. It's just harder to do too. Yeah.
And me, I have so much real
you
estate.
have so much room
on my eyelids.
Must be nice.
Every time I get my eyes like makeup done, they're like, I love your eyelids because they have so much space.
Literally,
to do
you could spend 2 hours doing my eyeshadow, and I'll open my eyes and you can't see it.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's about like now knowing what looks good on you with your eye color, your shape, and you don't really ever do eyeshadow. You're more like, okay, I'm really gonna focus on my eyeliner.
Yeah.
I think.
And then one more. Sorry.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do another one.
Sorry.
I like hearing other people's.
No, my other one. I got asked multiple times, and I didn't write any of these down, so I guess it ties into that too, about like my hair care and how I've grown it so much in the last year. And it used to be like so dead and falling out, and it's very dead right now, so don't look at it closely. But overall, it grows a lot faster. It's a lot healthier. Yeah, like I will get a trim, and it'll be like back to where it was like that same month now, instead of waiting like a year to get any progress. My biggest tip for that is stop overwashing your hair. I feel like I was someone, especially because I was like constantly in prep, so constantly working out 2 times a day, sweaty all the time. I felt like I had to wash my hair after every single workout, and like use stripping shampoos to like clarify my scalp and all these things. And as soon as I went from like washing my hair literally every day, sometimes multiple times a day, which if you're doing that, stop. Now I wash my hair every like 4 or 5 days, and that transformed my hair health. And for those of you listening and you're like, but my hair gets oily, like I can't do that, I was in the same boat, and that's why I was washing it so much, because I was like, after a few hours, it felt like I had oily hair again. And you just have to train your scalp. The reason it is, I know you're the hair girl, but the reason it is oily is because you're constantly stripping it. If you stop constantly stripping it.
So your scalp is like, wait, what do we do? So it overproduces oils. I was literally watching one of my favorite makeup artist ladies, and she was going over her favorites, and she was talking about a clarifying shampoo, and she was talking about like how oily her hair gets, and I was like, it's because you're using that clarifying every other day, lady. Yeah. Because especially for girls with fine hair, like you kind of have to just like train it in order for it to stop overproducing the oils, and then eventually you could be like Kendall.
I mean, I'm on to like day 5 right now. It's definitely oily. I'll probably wear a hat later, but like you can really make it work, and like find hairstyles that make it work.
Big facts.
Yeah. Okay, now what's yours?
Okay, I think lymphatic drainage on my, like just doing it to my face. And then what else? Makeup, what I have been doing is like, you can definitely change up like the way your contour looks. So what I've been doing is like I'll do like a little bit of powder like underneath my contour on the side, and I'll stop it. Like I'll bring it from like the top of like where your, what is this called right
cheekbone?
Here? Or it's like kind of like where your sideburn is almost. And then you bring it and you stop it and you turn it like down here, because then it like brings this in there.
I did that for like a few weeks, and I did feel snatched. And then I don't know why I stopped, but I stopped. Yeah.
But there's different ways you can do it. You can either like bring the powder like circular underneath your cheek so that it brings more like fullness to your face.
Yeah.
Or you can do it like where it cuts off right here.
It reminds me of like Tim Burton characters.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I love the sunken in, like, what's his name who just played Willy Wonka? Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Like his like sunken in cheekbones. That's that effect.
Yes. Like when I do it, I'm like, oh my God, like it's like snatched. But then also it's like you have to think about like your face too. Like if you want a more like youthful look, you can place your blush more like on your cheeks and then also have like your powder more cutting your contour like more in a circular motion so you can get more fullness in your cheeks. If you want to be more like gaunt, kind of like, then you just place it more so it
gaunt
like
is such a good
cuts.
word for that.
Yeah.
Yep. You got any more questions?
Nah, I'm good. I'm all talked out, bro. Well,
Okay.
We love you guys so much. We hope that you have a merry, 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 merry Christmas, happy holidays, all of the things, whatever you celebrate, wherever you are. And we love you all so much, and you're more powerful than you think. Bye.
Wow, we really were on sync on that.
That was like a song.